I want to be respecters of your time, okay? I've been invited to one of these things like this before, and you don't know what to expect, so everybody can just kind of relax. But I'm going to just tell you how I wound up being part of this, and then I'm going to talk to you about what I think that it takes to be successful here, and I'm going to talk to you about the timing. But I'm going to fly by, okay? I won't camp out very long, because again, you don't want to hear some boring story from me and all that. I understand that. Again, I've sat in your shoes before. Okay, so my story: college football coach for 18 years, a lot of years at the University of Missouri. I don't know if you follow football at all, but a lot of years there. Then we all got fired there twice. And then a place called SMU, Southern Methodist University, coached there until we got fired. See, there's already a little pattern developing here that there's two types of college and professional football coaches: those that have been fired and those coaches that are going to get fired. It happened here in this city, right? Just recently. And did they hire somebody today? Do what? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, they hired a new coach today. It'd be great, if you got Tom Brady as your quarterback, if you're calling plays for Tom Brady, it'd probably be, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out. Just let Tom Brady do it. And that's kind of part of like this business. And when you got someone that people we have in this room right now, there are people that are star players. I can see them in here that are willing to help you do what you want to do to get where you want to go. That's the beauty of it, is you don't have to start from scratch. Okay, so I coached football, and I backed into all this. I had no desire to do anything like this at all. Had always had this opinion in my mind, this is some type of pyramid scheme or some rah-rah deal where we all do kumbaya and chant, or something like that. I really did. We always heard the story about, your cousins, uncles, aunt tried something that came through town one time, it didn't work, so therefore if it didn't work for them, it sure won't work for you, right? Isn't that how we come to conclusions? So what I did is I was coaching football at SMU, and I felt like I'd gained some weight. I went to our strength conditioning coach, and I asked him, how could I get in better shape? I thought he was going to tell me to change my workout. And he exposed me to some products, okay? And I got on products and I got results. My wife she got results. From there, he started telling me there was some form of a business, and I don't want to be part of this business at all. But he said one of these things one time about, hey, we're going to have this unbelievable meeting on Saturday morning. I'd love for you to come. He said, you never know what could happen. Have y'all ever been in a situation where you don't want to do something, you're looking the person right in the eye, and you're trying to think of an excuse not to do it? Right? You've all been there. It's exactly where I was. All I could pull out from there was, I just said, hey, I'd love to come to this unbelievable meeting, but I got to mow my yard on Saturday morning. He didn't laugh, okay? Lindley's laughing. He was like, what? That's the stupidest excuse I've ever heard. I thought, that's all I got. That's the only excuse I can think of. So I went home and told my wife, I said, Mark, my workmate, he wants me to come to one of those deals, that they have. And I said, I'm not going to go. She said, what'd you tell him? I said, I told him I had to mow the yard on Saturday morning. She kind of rolled her eyes and thought, well, that's really weak, Mike. So I wake up Saturday morning. The water is about ankle deep. It's pouring down rain. I can't do what? I can't mow my yard. Now I got to be a man of my word. Now I got to go to the meeting. So see how all of you got here on time? I didn't when I went to the meeting. It's in Dallas, Texas. I didn't want to see anybody in the state of Texas, college football coach, at some pyramid rah-rah deal. But I had to go because I want to be, a man of my word. I waited till the meeting started. I came in back, sat at a table, and this is my body language. You ever had one of those? That was my body language. And the first guy that got up and spoke, I thought, yep, exactly what I thought. Too good to be true. And I'm just kind of shuffling, thinking I'm out of here. And then the CEO got up, who had been an athlete like I was. He played pro football, and he was a man's man. And he started talking in some terms about being able to get healthy and create some time that you may be missing in your life. Ding, 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 time. I worked 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for 18 years. That's the role of a college or professional football coach. That's the kind of hours that you put in. So I've got a fantastic wife I never saw except Thursday night. I have two sons I never saw. Matter of fact, my senior in high school, You know, on Friday night in the fall here, those stadium lights are on in high schools, right? All over the state. I got to see my senior play football twice his senior year. I would drive by his stadium lights to go to some other campus to watch a high school game to scout someone. Or we would be on an away trip somewhere. Think of that. Jen's already cried. I'm going to cry. So I missed all of my son's activities. I got a 9th grader coming up too, and I thought, man, I'm going to fool around and miss his too. So I didn't have time, but the guy talked about it. And when you know how I had this body language? I thought, I think I'm going to find something to write on. I began to take notes. When I got home, my wife, Deb, I said, hon, sit down. I said, I want you to pay attention and listen. And I was just talking 100 miles, and I was excited. I found some hope. I found another way that I could still help people and get paid to do that and spend time with my family. And I don't drink, but she said, Mike, what were they serving you there today? I said, they were serving me some hope, all right? And so that was the beginning of when I started to drop my ego, unfold my arms, and begin to listen to another way to have a life. And I think where I drew a line in the sand was this right here. We wound up getting fired there. That's very common. It doesn't mean that like I did something wrong. It's just the nature of that kind of industry. It really, really is. So I came home and I talked to my 9th grader alone, private. Remember, anybody got kids that's either getting close to being in the 9th grade or been in the 9th grade? Yep. Almost everybody in the room. So remember how important the 9th grade year is? So I went to my 9th grade and I said, Tim, if Dad stays as a college or professional football coach, we'll have to move in the middle of your 9th grade year. And my 9th grader, Tim, said, Dad, I'll give it up for you. The senior, remember what happened with the senior? Saw him play how long? How many games? Twice. I said, Kenny, you remember your senior year in high school, how big that is for you in your life? You know, you're the big dog now. So I said, hey, Kenny, you know, if Dad stays as a college football coach or professional football coach, we'll have to move somewhere in the middle of your senior year. He didn't even hesitate. Hey, Dad, I'll give it up for you. Then I went to my wife. My wife had been a school teacher. When I was coaching at the University of Missouri, she went back and got her doctorate. She became a psychologist. She had just opened up her practice, you know, in Dallas. Just had opened it up. And we're starting out all by ourselves. And by the way, we grew that to the largest faith-based counseling center in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, over many, many years. That's where we started. So I said, hon, you know, I know you just got a lease on this property here, and you're getting ready to do this. I said, and I don't know what, if I stay as a college or professional football coach, I didn't even finish the sentence. She said, I'll shut the doors tomorrow for you. I did this. Football coaches have timeouts. I literally went, timeout, big boy. It's always been about me and what I wanted. I got a wife, kids. I have no time for my elderly parents, and I don't have time to get involved in our church. I chose that, okay? It wasn't put upon me. I worked my tail to get to that position. You know how the higher you climb on what America says the success ladder, I'm spending less and less in time where my priorities should be. So I said, is there something then that I can do? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to spend time. Football fans are fickle. My wife always said, Mike, you're either the hero if you win or you're the zero if you lose. So fans are fickle. Y'all are happy if the Jaguars, it's great if they're winning, right? If they're losing, I get the next coach. I'm out, right? Isn't that how it works? So I thought, what could I do to allow me to have the opportunity to earn the type of income? It wasn't about money. It was about time. It was about time. But I love helping people. I'm very passionate about helping people. I love, just like in coaching, I could take an athlete and watch them develop and encourage them and train the socks off of them and watch them blossom and become a man, you know, make something of themselves. In this industry, as a leader, I get a role in some of y'all's lives, okay? I know that we have an opportunity here to impact people's lives. So I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to impact you. There's a big difference. I'm not going to be showy and all that. I'm going to cut right to the chase. That's the only way I'll operate. Same way I did with athletes. So that's what brought me to the industry. And then I started as an independent business owner, like many of you are. And then the company I was with, they were really struggling. I opted to come inside to help the company nationwide make it. And we went from a small company to one of the largest companies in this industry in the world. Okay? And then I left there, and I had an opportunity then, because I had become an executive there for 9.5 years. Then I got the call about coming here, and I jumped at it because I love helping people. I see this, I'm telling you, I don't care who you are, I see this bigger than anybody in the room because it's not imagination to me. I have seen what's happened. Okay? I've seen people that had very low self-confidence start to walk with some pride, be able to communicate better because they just grew as a person. I've seen all those kind of things happen. So that's kind of how I got here. That's why I'm passionate about it. I'm going to tell you what I think. If you're looking at this, maybe you're in, but you haven't done anything. Maybe you're looking, okay? Or maybe you're in and done something but kind of backslid. Here's what I think, in my opinion, based on 27 years, I think there's some key things that are really important of what it takes. That W stands for the why, your purpose. We always like to say when the why, W-H-Y, becomes strong enough, the how-to will become easier. Here's where we get hung up. Rachel, I consider an expert at what she just did. 99% of you think, can't do that. She's physician assistant. Guess what? You don't have to do that. All right? But you'll get yourself all wired up into thinking about some ingredients in a product or understanding everything about a compensation plan or what specifically exactly do I say to someone. If your why is big enough, things will work out. Remember back when you were in like junior high and high school and you had your eye on a boy / or girl depending upon the situation, right? Did you have to go to classes to learn how to flirt? No, you didn't, right? You thought, okay, I know where Mary's locker is. I'm just going to make sure oh, Mary, I'm so sorry. You know, you knew, I'm making that up, all right? I was a little cooler than that. But you knew how to flirt with somebody. You didn't have to have a training to flirt because you had a why. You were interested in the person. Same thing here. When you have a down day doing this, always go back to your purpose, your reason. And that will be the thing that will be the glue because you don't have a boss here. Newsflash. No one. I'm the president, right? I can't call you and say, what did you do today? Give me a list of everything you did today. If you don't, then I'm going to cut your pay. Or I might fire you. No, you are independent. You are totally independent. So I think your motivation with the why is important. The second thing I think is important is your effort. Redundant question here. Who's responsible for your effort?
Me.
See that finger? Don't we like to do this? Oh, isn't it hard when we have to point out ourselves? Isn't that tough? No, you're responsible. I'll get on a soapbox for just about 30 seconds. We're living in a world today where the word work is like a cuss word. Am I right? I don't think God designed us, in my opinion. I don't think God designed us not to work. I think God designed us for do what we've got to do to provide for our families instead of having our hand out looking for somebody else to take care of us. I'm off my soapbox. That's what I believe. You are responsible for your effort. Okay? Here's the next one I think you are responsible for. Your attitude. One of the most well-respected ministers I've listened to for 30 years, Chuck Swindoll, said this one time. He said something like this, Josh. He said, the biggest decision that I make every single day is my choice of my attitude. My attitude is my decision. We got to decide that. So if you should do this and somebody says no, I don't want to do this, or is it one of those things, your attitude is going to play a role. It's going to be tied back to your why, but your attitude when someone started doing this and they quit, it's going to be tied to your why, but what your attitude is going to be. You had someone tonight that was going to show up that did not show up. Your attitude is going to be affected one way or another. Am I right? I've seen people that got a room full of people, and there's one person that didn't show up that said they're going to show up, and they're just pouted the entire meeting and just was a downer for everybody else. Attitude. This next one and the last one is relationships. You are responsible for your side of the relationship. You cannot control what somebody does or doesn't do towards you from a relationship standpoint, but you can control your relationship side of it. My wife has done hundreds of marriage counseling for people, on an individual basis, couples coming in. There's trouble in the home. You can't make this one do something, but you can sure take care of your side of the relationship. All right? So here, this is a relationship business. I think right now we're living in a world where we got more friends on Facebook than we've ever had in our lives, and I think we're as lonely and isolated as we've ever been in our lives. We are missing true relationships. I believe what we do here, when there's a common cause, we're like-minded. I'm watching body language as Rachel's talking, and I see people nodding like, yeah, y'all have fun. That's not a cuss word, okay? Y'all have fun together. You do trips together. You share life together. It is fun. You're building relationships. We all need those. So if you could wear, isn't that corny? W-A-R. If you could wear that every single day, I believe in my heart, after 27 years, that's what it takes. Okay? Now I'm going to talk to you what I think about the timing. American Psychological Association says, here are the top 5 stressors in America today, in order. Top 5 stressors in America today, in order. Number 1, money. Number 2, work environment. Let me pause right there. Don't let me get off track, okay? I'm on number 2. My wife, the marriage counselor and the individual counselor, I asked her about 8 years ago, I said, "Hun, what's the number one reason people come to our counseling center? We have 16, 17 doctors and therapists. What is the number one reason they come?" She used the word mundane. I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Here's what happens, Mike. They come in, they make an appointment, and I'll say, start unpacking what's going on in your life." And they will say something like this, the number one reason. I get up in the morning to an alarm clock. I get prepared to go to a job that I don't like with the people I don't like doing it with. And I do that 8 to 9 hours per day. Then I'm off work. I got a routine I got to do at night because I got to get ready because the alarm clock's going to go off the next day, right? And I'm going to do it months and years and decades. And here's what they say next. And you know what's happening now? Why I'm to see you, Dr. Wade, is because now it's affecting my relationships at home, family, friends. Because I don't enjoy doing what I'm doing. And they'll say, "Is that all there is? Is this all there is to do that?" Now, let me say this. It's noble. We said it's noble to work. I'm not cutting down. I'm not saying that's not noble. But what I'm saying is there's so many things that's just mundane. This is work, but it's fun. You get to build relationships. All right, number 3 is job security. Job security is the third one people are concerned about. Number 4 is our health. Our health. I'm just trying to wonder, do we have anything to do with helping people with their stressors in life? Okay. Exhibit A, right here, through Z. We do that. And the 5th one was relationships. Income, work environment, job security, health, relationships. When I heard our minister at our church quote that, I punched Deb and went, oh, wow. I wrote pure, exclamation point. That's what we get to do. We get to make a difference in people's lives. So do I think the timing's good? I don't know how the timing could get better. I don't know how it could get better. 80% of the people, based on the studies, 80% of the people are going to tie in somewhere with their health or their income. 80%. So I want you to just think this. Every time you say hi, you either got a health or an income. 80% of the people we deal with in life are in one of those two lanes right there. So I'm excited about where we are and where you can decide that you want to go. And we will do anything possible within the rules to help you any way that we possibly can to get where you want to go so that you can get what you're looking for. All right, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Awesome.